A French tank division under the command of General Jacques Leclerc will lead that parade.
Paris was a major goal, more for public relations reasons than for tactical reasons. It meant more for the American public back home. When we took Paris, there was some feeling that we were winning the war.
But the French weren't going to Paris to cheer up the American public. The French were going home, no matter what.
No matter how they changed her, I remember her that way.
The last time I saw Paris was in March of this year. It remains much the same as it was in the summer of 1944, much the same as it was when the Bastille fell almost 2 centuries ago. It's so beautiful, it makes you gasp. We almost lost Paris in the summer of '44. The barbarians almost destroyed it, but it survived intact. Come back to Liberation Summer, when American entertainers took some of the hurt out of the painful road to Paris.
From Memphis to Shane, please let me explain. The Memphis to Shane means you're grand.
Welcome back to Liberation Summer, 1944. On the home front, we collected scrap metal, rubber, paper, anything that we were told might help shorten the war by a week or a day. We saved everything from bacon grease used to make ammunition to the tinfoil on a pack of cigarettes. I don't know what General Eisenhower thought about tinfoil and bacon grease, but he knew the value of morale. He saw to it that entertainers were sent to France as soon after D-Day as possible. Movies were called 2-hour furloughs, and combat zones were getting 3 movies a week. The first one to reach France was CoverGirl.
The show we show is different because we don't depend on this, nor this for applause.
Movies kept up with the front lines to keep up morale. You fought Nazis, then looked at Rita Hayworth and listened to Gene Kelly.
Just one look and then I knew that all I longed for long ago was you.
Not all entertainment was great, but all entertainment was welcome. General Eisenhower had asked for volunteers, singers, dancers, accordion players, comics. The house was never fancy, but the house was always full, and the show always went on.
Last night I had my first big argument with my wife. You know what kills me? She's always running to beauty parlors. So it really burns me. Isn't it silly? She's going to one place now that promises her that after 10 treatments she's going to look like Betty Grable. Maybe they're right. So far she's only taken 5 treatments. Already she looks like Harry James.
Jan Murray and the USO hit the beach in July. Another surprise attack.
No one expected us. I mean, they couldn't have picked up a phone and say, hey, actors are coming, meet them at the dock. No dock, nothing. You know, we landed right on Omaha Beach where the invasion had taken place a few weeks before. And these thousands of people, it seemed like millions, like ants, running, unloading the boats, doing double takes, staring at us. Who are these clowns? And we're standing there until somebody from Special Services finally came over and took us in tow. At the times of the show, at those moments, at that time, there was no essence of fear or anything. You take American kids off the farms, off the big cities, and you certainly throw them into a war zone. It's a frightening, you know, appalling thing. And to elicit laughter for that hour, make them forget. And they were raucous. They'd laugh beyond normal laughter because the release was so great. So, and that filled my life.
If the dog face was on the road to Paris that summer, the famous face was too. And a famous face was a small, familiar piece of home. This face belongs to Dinah Shore. She took it to France. It wasn't all she brought.
I was just there, and I wanted to sing, and I loved to sing, and I wanted to hit as many of the people as I could. Looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. When I saw these men whole and fighting and as lonesome and as homesick as I was, I I was very moved. Then when I ran into this group, it was a big surprise. They called it the Dinah Shore Bridge. That was really thrilling. It meant so much to me, and obviously it meant a lot to them. Anybody could sing, but to find the right audience and get to the troops, that was the big thing, so that you could help do something at that time, you know, to help these incredible men who were doing so much, giving so much.
Dinah Shore couldn't get to every overseas outfit, but her records could, courtesy of Armed Forces Radio Service. AFRS provided a continuous outpouring of news and sports and variety shows, and above all, music.
This is your American Expeditionary Station, a radio service for American fighting men and their allies.
Armed Forces Radio was a unifying force. One program fits all. Eddie Lawrence was a disc jockey and host of a variety show.
Radio played a primary role in the lives of the GIs. They woke up to it, and they listened to it. They went to sleep by it. See, they all kept their radios on in the tents. And they didn't have alarm clocks. The radio was the alarm clock, and they left the radio on at night. And I think we went on at 5:30, they'd hear, or 5 o'clock, they'd hear the music, and they'd all get up.
For GIs in combat, the radio did more than entertain. It made the load a little lighter. And when you were listening to Tommy Dorsey, you weren't thinking about your own mortality.
We tried to do something good, worthwhile, and we had the freedom to do it. All you did was tell them who you wanted, and they said, oh, yes, Marlene Dietrich, she'll be over at 8:30.
Hello, boys. I want to say that sharing this entertainment with you today is to me more important than doing the entertaining. If morale is kept as high, such as I've seen during my visit here, I'm certain that we can look forward to a speedy victory. Goodbye, good luck, Godspeed.
These men are going out to the front lines and everything. And it was kind of tough to do comedy for them, but they loved it. And then we'd all get back, check in at the radio station. Then we'd play these V-discs.
V-discs were recorded transcriptions of radio shows from the States. Some were filmed, and every week a new batch was sent overseas.
G.I. Journal. It's the G.I. Journal.
Mail call from the United States of America. Mother says it's in the groove. Daddy says it's hot. Backwards, it spells Elabooze. Now, brethren, what have you got? You've got Jubilee.
Here's one of your all-time sweethearts. Another command performance for that lovely sweater girl, Judy Garland.
Thanks, Bob. Hiya, fellas. Sweater girls. Bob, why are men so crazy about sweater girls?
I don't know, Judy. That's one mystery I'd like to unravel.
He says murder, he says. Every time we're kids, he says murder, he says. At a time like this, he says murder, he says. Is that the language of love? Why don't we mosey round? You could be cozy round a gal who could sprinkle you with spice.
But how about the consequence? That old death of consequence. I've been burned more than twice.
Besame,
Hey, what am I going to get, a kiss or a quart of milk?
Thanks from America to all our men in blue, our boys in khaki too, our tough Marines, our Coast Guard, our Army nurses true. We thank you so much. Fellas, this doesn't rhyme, but one of these days soon we'll be seeing you.
Bob Hope kept that promise again and again and again.